Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Today I'm going to talk about some statements that Gene Simmons made about rap music. And for those of you who don't know, Gene Simmons is a legendary rock artist. He was a member of the legendary group Kiss. And here's what he said about rap music. He said, "I'm looking forward to the death of rap. I'm looking forward to music coming back to lyrics and melody instead of just talking. A song, as far as I'm concerned, is by definition lyric and melody, or just melody." Then Simmons went on to say, "Rap will die next year, 10 years from now, at some point, and then something else will come along, and all that is good and healthy." And in response to that, Talib Kweli, a famous rap artist, made some comments. He said, "Would it be unfair of me to say I'm looking forward to the death of Gene Simmons?" And he goes on and he says some other things. And Gene Simmons basically responds by saying, "Well, I'm basically saying that it's just that music goes in cycles. Eventually, music is goes through changes and is replaced by a new art form, a new form of music." And then Talib Kweli basically says that pointing out that something goes through cycles is different from looking forward to seeing something die. And that's basically what Gene Simmons is saying. He's saying that he's looking forward to the death of rap. And so I wanted to take some time to just talk about this whole issue. And it kind of reminds me of what happened to disco music. Disco music had a lot of minority or black voices, Latino voices in it. And rock and roll at the time was a predominantly white art form. And even today, it's predominantly white. And most of the audience is white. So, for all intents and purposes, despite its original origin coming from black artists, it has become a white art form. And in the 70s, a lot of people were protesting against disco. A lot of these rock and roll fans, they were out and protesting and calling for the end of disco and all this and that. And I basically see that and what Gene Simmons is doing as a form of cultural imperialism, a form of cultural domination and oppression of another culture. You have these people that feel like they are so entitled, so privileged, that they get to define what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. They get to define what is art and what is not art. They get to define what is music and what is not music. And that's what you have here. You had this white old man basically trying to crush or silence black voices through this kind of dismissive criticism of an entire art form that is a genius of an art form. It's a flawed art form, as most art forms are, but it's genius as well. There's a lot of creativity in hip hop music, in rap music. Rap music provided a voice that our people did not have for a long time. It was a voice for the voiceless. It was the voice of the streets. It was the voice of the hood, a voice that had been long neglected in this society. It spoke to this experience of many black people and Latino people that no other form of music could speak to. If you listen to R&B, for instance, most of that is about love and relationships and all that kind of stuff. But hip hop spoke to the harsh realities of black life in the inner city. It talked about the struggle of poverty, it talked about crime and violence. It also talked about political consciousness at one point, social awareness, activism. It talked about love as well. It was about fun, about dancing, about expression in the full sense of the word, both, musically and artistically, etc. So this thing called rap, this music called hip hop, is a voice of the voiceless, and we shouldn't let anybody feel that they are entitled to suppress that voice, to crush that voice, to silence that voice. So, I think that Gene Simmons, in many respects, again, reflects a, a kind of cultural imperialism. And when you boil it down to its core essence, what you have is essentially racism. Because no one can say that hip hop is without lyrics when some of the most beautiful lyrics ever written were written by rap artists. Beautiful lyrics describing the pains and struggles of black people. Beautiful music talking about the aspirations of the oppressed, the pain of the oppressed, the struggles of the people. You can't say that rap is without lyrics. You simply can't. Any kind of objective analysis of hip hop reveals that there is plenty of rich content in hip hop in its purest form. And we all know that hip hop has plenty of melody. Hip hop is a type of music that people can feel, people move to, people dance to, people bob their head to, because they can feel the melody in the music. This music has transcended all kinds of boundaries, social, economic boundary. It is transcended, these geographic boundaries. It has become a worldwide phenomenon. So it's silly, it's ridiculous, and it's just flat out wrong to say that hip hop doesn't have lyrics and melody. These rap artists, the ones that are true to the art, the true hip hop artists, they are like our modern day Langston Hughes. They are the modern day poets, and many of them are writing masterpieces. That's hip hop that I'm talking about.